What's happening, my Jacked family? Coach Scott here, jackedafter40.com. The most common question I get asked from men over 40 is, can you build muscle and burn fat at the same time? The short answer is yes, you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time, and I'd go as far as saying that it could be the best approach for many men over 40 because it keeps you as close to maintenance level calories as possible, providing your body with sufficient fuel to feel your best, perform your best, while keeping your hormones in an optimal state. And seeing as the most common goal that I come across when reviewing the Jacked After 40 coaching applications is to lose fat and build muscle, I'd say this is coming as great news to many men over 40 out there. But this doesn't mean that all men over 40 should try to achieve this goal. And in today's video, I'm going to share some different scenarios when trying to build muscle and burn fat at the same time is a good idea, and how to structure your lifestyle, nutrition, training, supplementation to help you achieve this goal of losing fat and gaining muscle at the same time. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from hearing this information, do him a favor and share this video with them. More than anything, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your experiences with me. Scenario number one is men over 40 who have more than 15 pounds of fat that they want to lose as part of their physique goal. And in this situation, I wouldn't recommend that you try to lose fat and gain muscle at the same time, mainly because this approach requires you to remain pretty darn close to maintenance level calories. And when you're trying to drop more than 15 pounds of fat, it could take a very long time to achieve that goal. Unless, of course, you don't mind taking 6 months or even up to a year in order to drop that amount of weight. But for the most part, I'd recommend that you be a little bit more aggressive and focus solely on fat loss initially until you get to that point where you're close to that last 10 pounds of fat that you want to burn. And then at that point, you can shift your focus to building fat and building muscle and burning fat. The second scenario is the ideal situation to try to build muscle and burn fat at the same time, and that is having 10 pounds of fat or less that you need to lose. And a couple of reasons for that is that when you only have 10 pounds of fat to lose, chances are you're already pretty darn happy with your overall appearance. You want to step it up, you want to take it to the next level, you want to be shredded, but you're looking pretty lean, close to that beach body look that you're content with, so you don't mind if this process takes a little longer. And the great thing about taking this slow and steady approach is that your body's going to be less likely to resist you. You hear that a lot with guys who are trying to drop that last 10 pounds. Your body doesn't necessarily want to be that lean, and it can really fight you back if you're trying to be aggressive with your deficit. But if you're staying pretty close to maintenance level calories when you're trying to burn this last bit of stubborn body fat, it's less likely to resist you. So now let's get to the good stuff, how men over 40 can build muscle and burn fat at the same time. And it begins with priority number one, getting an adequate amount of sleep. We're talking 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each and every night, a consistent sleep-wake schedule, along with proper stress management techniques. These two things together are gonna put your body in an optimal hormonal state to build muscle and burn fat. And while you're sleeping, this is the time when your body is doing the bulk of its repairing, rebuilding, and growing its muscles. These two things are key. If you can't get your sleep and your stress management under control, everything else is going to be that much harder. You're just going to make it incredibly challenging for yourself to try to do both of these at the same time. Priority number two is to get your diet under control. As I mentioned earlier, you should be consuming close to your maintenance level calories. If you're unsure how many calories to consume in order to maintain your body weight, I have a calculator on my website. You just enter your age, height, weight, along with your activity factor. I find for most men over 40, the moderate activity factor works out great as an initial starting point. Unless you are crazy active and constantly on your feet, then you can go with a heavier activity factor there. This is going to give you your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure. That's how many calories you would burn per day just to maintain your body weight. This is just an estimation. This is a tool that gives us a starting point to work with, and then we kind of pay attention to our body's feedback and make any kind of necessary adjustments along the way. And it's important to note that maintenance level calories is more of a range than it is a specific number. So although the calculator may say that my TDEE is 2,900 calories for the day, my maintenance range may be from 2,700 to 3,100. There are so many different factors that go into our total daily energy expenditure, from the workout that we did today, all the other activities that we do and while we're on our feet, moving around, that non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Basically, how little we're spending on our feet. Could be the thermic effect of foods. What we eat today may burn more calories going through the digestive process than what we eat tomorrow. Stress can affect us, our sleep, all those different factors can pile in to our total daily energy expenditure. So don't get stuck on a number and realize that it can fluctuate. It's more of a range than a specific number. But as long as you're in that ballpark, that is key, and then paying attention to your body's feedback. So if your goal is to lose 10 pounds of fat or less while building muscle, and you don't mind taking a slow and steady approach to this process, consuming maintenance level calories is going to give you the best chance at building muscle and burning fat at the same time. But if your primary goal is fat loss and you want to burn fat a little faster, I recommend you start with 200 calories below your total daily energy expenditure and really pay attention to your body's feedback. On a weekly basis, I don't want to see you losing much more than 0.5% of your total body weight for the week. So someone like myself weighing around 150 pounds, I'd be looking at dropping 3/4 of a pound per week. So nice, slow, steady process, but not crazy slow, and still setting myself up for a good chance of building muscle at the same time. And in the scenario, if you want to give yourself an even better chance of building muscle while you're burning fat, you can have a couple maintenance days in there. So maybe 5 days a week, you're in a 200 calorie deficit. 2 days a week, you're at maintenance level calories. And the closer you get to your goal level of leanness, I would get yourself closer and closer to maintenance level calories, whether that's reducing the number of days. Maybe you drop it down to 2 to 3 days a week where you're in a 200 calorie deficit and the rest of the time you're at maintenance, or you just go with a 100 calorie deficit 7 days a week instead of the 200 calorie deficit. And then once you get really, really close to your level of leanness, you can just hover around that maintenance level calories and really kind of embrace that process of building muscle and losing fat at the same time. And it's important to get an adequate amount of each macronutrient, and protein seems to be the controversial one, where some people think that we don't need as much as the typical 1 gram per pound body weight recommendation. But then there are studies that show that as we age, we need to consume more protein in our diet just because our body doesn't utilize it as efficiently as it did when we were younger. So I say, like, why take chances? If you want to really ensure that you are giving yourself the best chance to build muscle while burning fat, for us men over 40, I'd aim for at least that 1 gram per pound body weight of protein intake, maybe even 1.2, maybe even up to 1.5 if you find it fairly easy to naturally get it into your diet. And as I mentioned in recent videos when I was talking about meal frequency and meal timing, it's best to consume 4 to 6 meals per day and to spread your protein intake evenly throughout the day. So if you're aiming to consume 200 grams of protein each and every day, and you're consuming 5 meals per week, you'd be looking at 40 grams of protein per meal. Try to spread it out as close to evenly as possible in each meal. 20 to 30% of your diet should come from healthy fats, from fish, nuts, seeds, oils, avocados, and the remainder of your calories can come from carbohydrates. I recommend consuming around 50% of your daily carbs around your workouts, your pre-workout meal 1 to 2 hours before your workout, and then your post-workout meal 1 to 2 hours after your workout. And those should be kind of more faster acting, faster digesting carbohydrates such as fruits. And this is one of those scenarios where I think it could be a good idea to consume an intra-workout drink. It'll help reduce your cortisol during your workout and prevent some of that muscle breakdown. So after your workout, your body's gonna have to spend less time repairing the muscles, and more of its energy and resources can go towards building your muscles. The intra-workout drink that I've made for myself is 25 grams of Vitargo, that's a fast-acting carb, and 25 grams of whey protein powder. And I would consume this 30 minutes into my workout. It definitely improved my performance during my training. I felt better, I was able to give my best effort. So again, all those in combination with the potential of reducing cortisol and reducing muscle breakdown. If you have the funds to spare, it's worth the experiment for yourself. But if money's tight or anything like that, don't feel like it's necessary. It's just kind of one of those little things that may give you a slight little edge. And with your overall diet, I highly recommend that you focus on quality, whole natural foods that are nutrient rich, providing your body with the fuel to perform your best and feel your best. Foods like sweet potatoes, eggs, salmon, veggies, loads and loads of veggies. We're talking broccoli and cauliflower. Those are great for healthy testosterone. Nuts, seeds, avocados, fruits are great as well. So foods that are going to allow you to perform your best and feel your best. When it comes to supplements, I recommend that men over 40 consume 5,000 IUs of vitamin D3, which is great for hormone health. And I recommend you combine that with 2 to 3 grams of fish oil that's high in EPA, DHA concentration. The triple strength dose that I use from Weber brand, I think it is, has 600 milligrams of EPA, 300 milligrams of DHA. So I take 2 to 3 of those per day. Having that oil, the vitamin D3 gets absorbed better when you take fat with it. So that's one of the reasons why I combine them together, and they are both great for overall hormone health for men over 40. I also take and recommend that you consume 300 milligrams of magnesium, which is great for bone tissue repair as well. There is some evidence that can help calm you, so it's good for stress management as well. Another great supplement for stress management is ashwagandha. I recommend 600 milligrams of that each day, and I would recommend whey protein powder as a convenient and pretty cost-effective source of protein, and there's other health benefits along with it as well. And then creatine monohydrate. For myself, smaller size guy, 150 pounds, I take about 4 grams each and every day post-workout, just in some warm water. I squirt a little bit of Mio in there, but a lot of guys, if you're bigger, closer, between 150, 200 pounds, 5 grams per day of creatine monohydrate is great. And again, dirt cheap. It's very inexpensive for a supply that will last you several months. When it comes to workouts for men over 40 to build muscle and burn fat at the same time, I think the most underestimated factor is the novelty of change. And I'm not talking about muscle confusion and changing your workouts every day or every week. I'm talking about following a structured plan for 3 to 4 months and then changing your training split, mixing it up, doing something a little bit differently. I find that so many men over 40 are very stuck in their routines. They've formed habits, whether it's been they heard that full body workouts 3 times per week is the best way to train for men over 40, or they've been doing body part split routines their entire life, and there's no way you could convince them that any other form of training is any better for muscle building. I think the best thing any of these guys could do is to just change it up every few months. Have an open mind, try something different, be playful, have fun, try different splits, and that little novelty factor of change can be exactly what your body needs to spark growth while you're burning fat at the same time. And that's exactly what we do over at the Jacked After 40 Club. Oftentimes we'll follow a training split for 3 to 4 months. Each month we will progress the volume, getting to that point of sometimes overreaching, and then we pull that volume back to allow our bodies to fully recover, the fatigue to dissipate, and to resensitize our muscles to future growth. That's a mistake that I see a lot of men over 40 make as well, is that they keep their training volume the same all the time. Their body has adapted to that volume, and they've accumulated a lot of stress and fatigue in their body if they've been doing high volume all the time, or they're just keeping their volume low and not challenging their body enough. So manipulating your volume is great, and there are times when we will change our training split from month to month as a way of progressing our training volume. I find that body part split routines are great when you want to keep that volume lower, because if you're just training a muscle group once per week and you're trying to hit a moderate or high volume, you are just crushing that workout. You are getting to that point where a quarter or half of your workout isn't as effective because you're not able to give your energy and focus to that workout. So I find that the body part split routines are great for the lower volume training, and then as you start to bump up your volume, you can hit each muscle twice a week, maybe with a push-pull leg split, and then you want to bump up the volume a little bit more, you can do like a upper-lower split, and then if you want to really crank up that volume high, you can do full body high frequency training where you're training the full body 5 days per week. In order to kind of handle that volume, you spread a volume out through those 5 workouts of the week. Of course, there's always that specialized training where you're just really ramping up the volume for one body part at a time and dialing everything back. There's so many different strategies out there. That's the beauty of this. Try not to get stuck in your same training splits each and every time. Spark that change by mixing it up. Break through those habits and just have some fun with it. Have an open mind and enjoy this training process. And one of the best ways to spark muscle growth, build muscle while you're burning fat, is to incorporate some intensity training techniques into your workout plan. Things that will allow you to safely train beyond failure, like drop sets, mechanical advantage supersets, extended rest pause sets. So you're really tapping into muscle fibers that haven't been touched or rarely ever get touched, because you're getting to that point beyond momentary muscular failure. And you've exhausted most of the muscle fibers that you are used to using, and you have to recruit more muscle fibers that have been dormant, untouched. So incorporate some of those training techniques. Don't go crazy with them. I think one training technique per workout is more than enough. Oftentimes I'll save it towards the end of my training because it is so taxing, so fatiguing on that muscle. So makes for a great finisher. So incorporate some of those training techniques into your training. I have a link down below to a video that I did where different training techniques that allow you to train to failure safely, and training techniques that allow you to train beyond failure safely for us men over 40. Joint friendly, no grinding out reps that are gonna beat you up, but really fatigue those muscle fibers and tap into those muscle fibers that have been dormant and untouched all these years. When it comes to cardio, I recommend you do something that promotes active recovery and stress management, not something that's going to beat you down or interfere with the muscle building process. Something like brisk walking is fantastic. I bring my dog out for a walk at least once a day, oftentimes twice a day. It gets my heart rate going, gets my blood flowing. I'm outdoors. I'm really present in the moment. It's very calming for me. So not only am I burning some calories, not only getting my blood flowing, get my heart pumping, I'm having fun with my dog. I'm having fun out in nature, and it's a great stress management tool. So really kind of killing two birds with one stone that promotes active recovery. It's actually going to help deliver more nutrients to my recovering muscles, and it's going to help remove waste products from my muscles when I'm training. So many benefits to getting out for a brisk daily walk. Highly recommend it. It should be a part of your daily routine. And one last key point is the simple fact that getting leaner, revealing more chiseled details of your physique, is gonna make you look more muscular. So even if you only gain a tiny bit of muscle while you're trying to build muscle and burn fat at the same time, you are going to look much more muscular. I can't tell you how many times I have dropped 10 pounds and people look at me and go like, what have you been doing? You've gained a bunch of muscle. I'm like, no, I actually just lost 10 pounds, but because I'm shredded and you see the chiseled details, people think I weigh much more than I do. They actually think that I've gained muscle during that fat loss process. So that is one of the key points important points about getting lean and staying lean. You're going to look more muscular. And that's how men over 40 can build muscle and burn fat at the same time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from hearing this information, do him a favor and share this video with them. And more than anything, I want to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback on today's video. And before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Hope you have yourself an absolutely amazing day. I'll catch you in the next video.